Welcome to your power yoga session for beginners and intermediates. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start bending the knees, taking a deep breath in. Squeeze your bum, reach back, extend the spine, and come on forward, all the way forward. And hands flat on the floor. Try to keep the legs straight. If you can't, you can bend the knees slightly and try and get your hands in contact with the floor. Take those hands off, lift yourself up halfway, bend the knees, another big breath in. Reaching back, squeezing the bum as you reach back to protect the lower back. And then again, fold forward. Feeling that stretch through the back of the legs. One more time, we're going to bend those legs, take a deep breath in, inhale up. Squeeze the bum and arch your spine. Come on back, all the way down. Here we're going to go into the dangle, so we're just going to fold the arms inside of each other, letting your head hang freely like so on a rope, letting your shoulders relax, and just noticing the sensation in the back of the legs and into the calves, and just shift your weight forward, more onto your toes, and then back, forward, now we're going to unfold the arms and place the hands on the floor. Once again, if you're unable to do this with straight legs, just slightly bend those knees. And now we're going to go into downward dog. The next 3.5 poses are your basic poses that we're always going to be coming back to. So downward dog, we walk forward. Your body stays in a half pike and you're going to separate the feet slightly. The goal here is to make sure that the heels are in contact with the floor and your legs are straight. If you are unable to do so, alternate one leg at a time and push the straight leg heel into the floor, and then switch to your right side, and then switch to the left, and again switch, and switch. Now let's bring our attention to the upper body. So when you're in the downward dog, the idea here is to bring the head through the arms as if you're bringing your forehead towards your knees and you're creating a space between your shoulder blades. When you start to feel that space between your shoulder blades, which you may not at the beginning of your practice, but when you start to feel it, that's a notification that the spine is really starting to extend in the opposite manner that it normally does through the day. Now from downward dog, we're going to move into our plank. So hands and shoulders are stacked over each other. And then we're going to go down into a slow descending push-up all the way. Try not to touch the floor if you can. And then we're going to go into upward dog. Once you're in upward dog, you can rest your thighs and point your toes. And take a deep breath in, allow your spine to relax and allow your glutes to relax. Inhale, as you exhale, you're going to tuck those toes back in and up to downward dog. Again, focusing on the heels, pressing into the floor with straight legs and really pushing back on the arms, feeling your head coming through your shoulders and approximating your knees. And again, if you're not able to make contact, just alternate those legs. One at a time, driving the straight leg heel into the floor, feeling the stretch of the calves, and perhaps all the way into the hamstrings. This time we're going to keep the left leg bent, and we're going to bring it up to scorpion pose. So you're going to travel all the way across your body. The weight is going to shift onto your right hand as your left leg crosses all the way over. We're going to take a deep breath in here, and then we're going to slingshot that left leg all the way up to the hands. In this position here, we want to make sure that there's no weight in the toe, that all the weight is in the heel. And then we're going to go down to the elbows. Just feeling the stretch in the hip flexor and in the hip of the right or left leg. Deep breath in and out. Coming back up to your hands. Here we're going to drop the right knee down And we're going to put all the weight on that right hand as we draw a full 180 circle all the way around the body, pointing it to the foot. And when you're ready, you're going to grab that foot and get a good stretch through that right leg in the thigh. Deep breath in here and out. Every time you exhale, you're trying to twist your spine further around by pushing off the outside of the foot. Good, one more time. And releasing that leg, coming all the way back to your forward position. Here we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So we're going to move up, arms up. Now you're feeling the stretch through the right leg in the front. And if you have enough strength, if you don't, if you're a beginner, then don't worry. If you can though, you're going to go up into high crescent pose. And here you're going to bring your hands into heart center. Then you're going to use the right elbow and it's going to turn onto the left thigh. And again, you're focusing on rotating that spine and focus on the breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Every exhalation, you should get a little bit more rotation. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Coming back into high crescent pose. Now the right hand is going to go back to the back of the right knee and we're going to reach back. And then turn that foot out and move into warrior pose. Beautiful, hands are straight out. Good. And then, yeah, and if you need a break, you just come up, take a break, and then come back down into your lunge. When you're ready, you're going to put your hand down to the ground. And again, work on twisting the spine, dropping that right arm as far back as you can take it. Working the breath, filling the abdomen all the way down to the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, everything gently recoils. Inhale. And exhale, bringing it back, hands down to the center, turn the toe back in, and bring that leg back into plank. We're going to go into the slow descending push-up, and then into upward dog. Pointing the toes, take a deep breath in, out, letting the bum relax, letting your spine relax. Make sure your hands are directly beneath your shoulders when you're in upward dog. One more time, deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck those feet in and take it back into downward dog. Pushing yourself right through those shoulders. If you're feeling more flexible, you walk your feet in closer to your hands, making the pike a little more severe. And then focusing on the breath here. Good, we're gonna bend that right leg this time. We're gonna repeat the whole sequence on that right side. So shift your body weight to the left hand as you bring that right leg all the way up into scorpion. Stretching the hip open. Getting ready to whip it in to runner's pose. And then we'll drop down to the elbows. Taking a few breaths here. Back up to the hands, dropping the back leg this time. And now shifting or keeping the weight onto the left hand. The right arm goes all the way around until it points to the back. Left foot. Here, once you're ready, we're going to grab that left foot on the outside over the pinky or the baby toe. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. It always helps if you let the front leg fan out. If you're trying to stay tight like this, you're going to have a difficult time. So it's important to let that front leg fall out so that you can get better spinal rotation. And remember, as you exhale, you're trying to get more twist through the spine. Good. And we'll let back in. And this time, if you have enough strength, we're going to go into high crescent lunge. We're now going to bring the left hand to the left knee and reach back. Then we're going to move into warrior. Holding that pose. If you need to take a break, you come up and then you go back into it. Ready? Put the hand down to the ground and twist that left arm all the way around as far as you can. Taking that deep breath in and out. Good. Both hands come back to center. Turn the back foot in and return yourself to plank. Getting ready for a slow descending push-up, all the way down, nice and slow, reversing the spine into upward dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale. This time inhale. And when you exhale, flex the feet, get ready. Downward dog. Now you should start feeling warm by this point. How you doing, Gabby?
Pretty good.
Okay, warming up?
Oh yeah.
Good. All right, so here we're going to do a little bit of core work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that left leg and we're going to bring it straight up. This time we're not twisting the hip, so you want to keep the toe facing the ground, and then we're going to bring that knee all the way in to the left elbow. Now, for a more advanced move, you're going to slide down to the wrist, over to the right wrist, up to the right elbow, down to the right wrist, over to the left, and then back out. For an easier move, I just want you, for beginners, I just want you to bring that knee all the way in to your hands. Hold it, and then kick it back out. Okay? So here we go, we're going to do 5. So you've got to wait until I've completed the advanced move for a beginner. Okay, so here we go, coming on in, slide, over, up, down, over, and out. Again. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. Again. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. 2 more. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, and out. Last one. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, and out. Good, both feet down. Pushing back into your downward dog, back into your plank. Slow descending push-up into upward dog. Point the toes. Deep breath in. Everything relaxes. Inhale. As you exhale, flex those feet back into downward dog. Deep breath in. Out. Getting ready to do it on the right side. Lifting the right leg up. Coming through to the right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, wrist, wrist, out. That's 1. And again, elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. That's 2. And again, elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. 3. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. 4. Last one. Elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, wrist, wrist, out. 5. Downward dog. Taking your breaths. Getting ready, moving into plank. Slow descending push-up. Upward dog. Relax, point the toes. 1 more. And again. On the exhalation, tuck the feet in, up, into downward dog. Now, I want you to look at the space between your hands, bend those knees, and you're going to float into your hands. Here we're gonna move into chair pose. Holding a nice deep squat. Make sure your bum is back, like you're reaching for a chair behind you. Arms are up and palms are facing each other. We're going to start now with single leg balance exercises. We're going to start with the left leg. So we're going to come up onto the left leg and we're going to move into airplane. Remember, this is not a race. You have to take your time and work on your balance. Now we're going to bring the hands down to the ground and we're going to do single leg squat to tuck. So you're going to squat down, bring the knee in, and then kick it straight out. That's 1, squat down, bring it in, 2, squat down, bring it in, 3, really make sure you kick that leg up as high as you can in the back, down, up, 4, down, up, 5, good, holding it here, bend the knee slightly so that you can come back up into your airplane pose. And now we're going to come on up and bringing that knee up towards your chest. You're going to kick it out, bring it in, and then reach back. Again, up, out, in, and back. Reach those arms up. Again, up, out, in, and back. 2 more. Up, out, in, and back. 1 more. Up, out, in, and back. Good. And then 1 more time into your airplane. Focusing on the breath. And let's bring that foot back in and sitting into chair pose. And it's okay if you're starting to sweat, like I am. This is power yoga. It should not be easy. This is a great exercise. Okay, now we're going to transition to the right side. So standing on the right side into airplane. Finding that single leg balance. Focus on an area on the floor, find a focal point and just keep your eye there. And then we're going to bring the hands down to the ground and we're going to do the single leg squat to tuck. So here we go for 1 and then kick. Really, that kick is so important. Squat down and kick like you're trying to do the splits. Squat down and kick all the way up. Down and kick all the way up. 2 more. Down and kick all the way up. 1 more. Down and kick all the way up. Bend the knee slightly so that you can come back into your airplane. Focusing on your breath. Bringing that knee in and up towards the chest. Kicking the leg out, bringing it back in, and reverse lunge. Up, 1, kick it, bring it back, 2, in, out, and 3, in, out, 4, and in, out, and 5. 1 more time into airplane pose. Holding. Good. Bringing the other leg back and we're back into our chair pose. Sitting a little deeper this time. Your bum or your glute muscles should feel like they're a little bit warmer, a little bit more flexible. And the hands are going to come down to the ground. Get ready, we're going to float back into our plank. slow descending push-up, upward dog. We're almost there. Tuck those toes in, back to downward dog. How you doing? Good. Good. Okay. Where's the level of fatigue on a 10 scale? 10 being I am completely exhausted, I can't do anymore. If you're there, that's okay, and that would be the time for you to stop. If you feel like you're at about a 7, then we can keep going for the last little bit. So you're at a 7? Yes. Perfect. So we'll go for the last little bit. There's not much more left. All right, so here we go. So let's go into our plank position. Okay, and then here we're going to start working the side of the body. So you're going to side plank. And we're going to go into dancer pose. So you're going to take the top leg and reach it all the way behind you and push those hips through. So touch the floor behind you. Yep, and just point the toe, just like the top of your tippy toe. And then push your hips through. That's it. Beautiful. And then come back in to your plank position with that same leg. Drive it through and twist the body the other way. And then come back through and bring that leg back into plank. And slow descending push-up all the way up into upward dog. Tuck those toes in, downward dog. Alright. So let's go back into plank. We're going to rotate to the right side. Find your right stable plank. Bring the left leg over into dancer. And push those hips out. Squeeze the bum as you try to push those hips out. And then come back. Without touching the ground, if you can, just slide it right through. And then open up the other way. And back in. Bringing it into plank. And slow descending push-up. Upward dog. I know so many of my patients are going to get a kick out of this one, watching me sweat doing power yoga. Fantastic. Yes, I do sweat. I am human. Okay, back into downward dog. All right, now we just got to get Swan, and then we'll bring it to a close. So let's bring that left knee all the way in, just like we did when we were doing our core work, except this time you're going to bring your left knee to your left wrist and your left foot to your right wrist. And through here, you're going to center yourself out so that you're not sitting on your hip. You want to be right through the center of your swan. And this is your power swan. So you're not actually sitting through the glute. Here is where we're going to reach forward as far as you can, continuing to maintain strength through the front leg, and then reach back and stretch. Inhale, reach forward. You've got to really push through that front leg to provide stability and support, and then come back. 3 more times, reach forward. Inhale back. Good, reach forward. And back. Last one. And back. Good. And now we're going to go move into our sleeping swan. So here you're going to let your body fall down to the ground. Focusing on some deep breaths in and out. Every time you take an inhalation, it's important to hold and retain the breath before you let it go. So inhale for 4. Hold for count of 4. And then exhale. The exhale should always be a little bit longer than the inhale. Hold and exhale. Walk yourself back up. Take your left hand to the outside, and then bring your right elbow to the outside of the left leg, where you're going to twist your spine, working the breath. And then come back in. Okay, hands back in front. Tuck that back foot in. Get ready to move back to plank. Slow descending push-up. Upward dog. Point the toes. Deep breath in. As you exhale, flex the feet. Bring it into downward dog. As before, if you feel that your dog is getting more flexible, walk your feet in closer to your hands and create a more severe angle. Getting ready to bring that right leg all the way forward, right knee to right hand, left foot to left hand, and then find your center. Don't fall towards the right side. Ready for power swan. Here we go, reaching forward. And exhale back. Feeling that stretch through that back leg. Inhale. And exhale back. And again. 3 more. And back. 2 more. And back. Last one. And then let's move into sleeping swan, reaching forward. Allowing that glute to make its way down to the floor. Still not rolling towards the right side. Always making sure you find your center. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 4. And exhaling for 6. Moving your hands back towards your knee and foot. And again, the right hand goes out. The left elbow makes contact with the right thigh, and it torques the spine around, so you're looking behind you. Coming back to center. Both hands in front, tuck the back foot in, up into plank. Slow descending push-up. Reverse upward dog. Point the toes. Make sure the bum is relaxed. One more. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the feet in. Downward dog. Make it more severe if you're feeling more flexible, and hopefully by this point you are. Hopefully those heels are making contact with the floor. We're going to continue to walk those hands all the way in. And here we want to take note of how we felt at the beginning when we were in this stretch and how easy it feels now, or the improvement in flexibility. Can you feel the difference? Yes? Excellent. Here we're going to fold those arms. And again, letting the head just hang free, letting the shoulders relax, focusing on the breath, filling the abdomen and the pelvic bowl, and then exhale. One more. And out. We're going to bend those knees, we're going to unfold the arms, we're going to inhale up. And bring all that energy into heart center. One more time, bend the knees, inhale up. And bring that energy into heart center. You have now completed your first yoga session for beginners. Namaste.